मंडळ तुमची नक्कीच वाट बघताय. So with this, I would like to once again thank all the three mentors for their motivational speeches, Nitin Datarji, Sunil Kulkarni ji, and Niranjan Gadge ji. Thanks a lot. Moving to the next part, the real crux of this program. What we are, as I was mentioning earlier, that we are blessed with a great program. We are blessed with a great ideology. We have great mentors. And what best other thing can happen to us? Anything better than someone who's an academic head, who's actually already a doctorate in Japanese language and education, and a certified career counselor, is also one of the renowned names when it comes to the Japanese language arena in overall India, Dr. Manasi Shirgurkar. She being part of our program, we are really honored to have Dr. Manasi Shirgurkar as the academic head. Just to give you a glimpse of her career, her achievements, the first thing that I would like to tell is her in last 23 years in the Japanese language education. She's contributed in different arenas: education, the training, translation, interpretation per se. She has not only co-authored books like Balbharti, so the Balbharti 12th standard Japanese textbook, and Minna no Nihongo, a manual for Japanese grammar in Marathi. She herself is the co-author, but also she has been a regular visiting faculty at renowned universities like Pune University, Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapit, to name a few. Along with this, she is a recipient of Dean's Award for Academic Excellence, GRIPS Tokyo and Obirin University Scholarship Japan, and she has trained over more than 2,000 students in Japanese so far. And I believe this is probably the one of the biggest achievements, or the big things that we have in our program today, along with the esteemed teachers Radha Joshi and Madhura Manke. So over to you, Mansi, and she will then walk us through the rest of the part. Thank you so much. I wish the rest of the part is equally motivating and more educational for all of you. Thank you so much.
एक मध्ये इंटरफेअर नाही, पण आपण नेहमीच शिक्षकांना, गुरूंना नमस्कार करून कामाची सुरुवात करतो. सो आज आपल्याकडे 4 शिक्षक आहेत. मीरा गाडगीळ,
सगळ्यांना माझे नमस्कार.
राधा जोशी यांना नमस्कार करून हा प्रोग्राम टेकओव्हर करा अशी विनंती करतो. सो ओव्हर टू डॉक्टर मानसी.
मीरा.
Okay. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
All of you can hear me, I hope.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Rahul has praised me a lot, but actually, I don't think it will be, what to say, it will justify itself if I can't perform here as well. Actually, when Rahul approached me with this idea in mind, that we should be having some program like this for the deserving students from Maharashtra, and we'll be mentoring them through the experienced and successful entrepreneurs and professionals in Japan. That was something really very different and unique. So I readily accepted, and I'm really happy to accept this offer. I thank Anand Ganuji and all GMGF authorities for giving this opportunity. Sei paigambarimasu. I'll try my best and I'll do my best. Okay, I would like to first introduce our teachers for this program. Miss Madhura Manke, she is here. She'll be teaching you from level 0 to N3 what we have decided for next 20 months or so. Then to give her academic background, she has done her commerce graduation and she has done LLB, but somehow she was not very happy with whatever she was studying, and she was very much interested in languages, especially in Japanese. and she started studying Japanese. She has been a very successful teacher in Pune, in Maharashtra, and she has also trained many corporate. She has also trained in many corporate trainings as well as university students. So we welcome Madhura as a teacher for this program. Thanks, Madhura. She has done her master's from Tiyak Maharashtra Vidyapit in Japanese language and education.
Thank you,
So,
Sansi.
yeah. Would you like to say something?
Yes.
Today,
Totally thrilled and honored that I can't speak, but with my
That's
little
not good for a teacher.
knowledge, but with today's great initiative, I'm really looking forward to enjoy and to have fun with learning language.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
thank you. Radha, are you here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Radha Joshi-san, she is from Thane. Oh, I forgot to tell, Madhura is from Pune. I am also from Pune. But we need to have people from different parts of Maharashtra. So we have invited Radha also. She has been a very good student of mine for business Japanese. And I saw her enthusiasm and the way she studied Japanese, and I was impressed. So I called her as a teacher. She has done her master's in industrial psychology. She has done a certification in curriculum development course design as well. And she has joined us as a teacher. She has been training Japanese I think she has been training in a college for some time. For last 4 years or so, she has been training students. And she will be there at least once a week. And Madhura-san will be there, Madhura Sensei, as we call it. She will be there twice a week. Okay, so that was just introducing the teachers to you, students. But I would like to introduce a few more elements of this program. But before that, I thought let's begin with some introduction to Japan itself, because I wanted to know what images you have in mind when someone says Japan. There must be something which pops up in your mind, or it may be anything. It may be an event, some incident, some people, some names, something. So can you just type in the chat whatever you think or whatever you recollect when someone says Japan? I want to know the images you have in mind. Technology, okay. That's good. First one came, best trains, yes, very much. Shinkansen or bullet trains, right. Time management, very good. Patient, okay. Kind nature, cherry blossom, focused, discipline. Wow, that describes Japan very much. Discipline, volcanoes, yes. Cartoon, Doremon. Wow,
Sushi.
that's good.
Now you can't read. Now you can't read. It's
So
split up.
Okay.
this is very nice, Dr. Manasi. This is the sign of a good teacher involving
Yeah,
parents. We wouldn't have thought of that. We wouldn't have
yeah.
thought of that.
Really great.
As they're typing here, I would like to mention August presence of Madhav Tapke, who is also one of our mentors, and Mrunalini Jagtap from Hong Kong, from Singapore. And I would like to tell all students that as we are waiting for their response, I'm sorry, am I interrupting?
No,
Yeah.
response is going on.
Garze Marathi is not helping anybody. We are all together in this. You are
Yes.
what we are doing our duty. The students will be
Yeah.
doing their duty. Will be doing their duty. And we are all together in this. Together we will progress. Over to you, Mansi.
Yeah. Okay, so this was a good idea for me as far as your images or what concepts you have in mind when it comes to Japan and Japanese people. Yes, you are right. Discipline, time management, patience, manga, volcanoes, bullet trains, all these things come up when you talk about Japan. So I thought of giving you a fun quiz. Shall we start with the quiz then?
Yes.
I'll be sharing my screen. Tell me when you can see it, okay?
Got it.
So while Mansi Sensei is sharing the screen, I'm just reading out the other responses also after time management and kind nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was Miyamoto Musashi, focus, discipline, volcano sushi, cartoon, polite people, quality, Tokyo, art,
Fantastic.
Kaizen, quality and technology, anime, manga, ikigai. Wow, that's nice. R&D, most honest and patriotic people. That's great. Thanks a lot.
Okay, that's good. So let's start with the quiz. Are the students ready? I hope they are ready, because when I'm sharing the screen, I can't see you. I can't see the window or chat. I request
Yes,
Madhura-san and Radha-san to monitor the chat and let me know how the student answers.
Can I just
Just
interrupt?
look at it.
Can I just interrupt?
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Madhura, as you are now starting regular with the class and your students, can we excuse the other guests who might be having busy schedule? Or if they want to continue, they can continue. But those who want to sign off can sign off. Those who are not.
Yeah, sir. Ganu sir, can I just say one thing, ma'am? Mansi madam, we have got here, see, respected Vijay Joshi from Australia, 1 a.m. Can we have word of blessing before he leaves?
Yes.
I don't want him to leave, but he can. He's a senior mentor of us, and I'm really amazed that at 1 a.m. it is more than 1 a.m. He's still there. So salute to you, sir, Vijay Joshi sir, and all of you. Can we have word of blessing before we start classes? And I will attend class.
I think he is not there. Vijay?
He is there.
Is there?
Yeah, he is
Vijay ji,
there.
namaste.
No. We can hear. Sir, you are mute.
Anand, you can unmute him, Anand.
I can unmute him. Mansi, sorry,
No
I
problem.
interrupted you.
No problem.
Okay.
I don't see him.
Yeah, he is there.
He's
Yeah,
there,
he
he's
is there.
there.
Here.
Tell me there.
Sir, तुमचा आवाज नहीं येत आहे, सर.
Dr. Manasi,
Yeah.
the way they came up, like Phoenix, अक्षा प्रमाणे ते सगळं आले, तो एक मेजर पॉइंट आहे
होय.
देशाच्या ह्याच्यामध्ये की the way they came up after Hiroshima.
Yes.
I cannot unmute Vijay Joshi. I'm trying.
Okay, anyway, leave it. He has to unmute himself.
You cannot.
एकच सांगायचं होतं, आनंद एकच सांगायचं होतं की हा सगळा जो इनिशिएटिव्ह आहे, it is fully sponsored by Garzemani Global Foundation. This is for the knowledge of all the people concerned.
So over to
Mansi,
Mansi.
please carry on. Mansi, please
Yeah.
carry on.
Over to Mansi, madam.
Dr. Mansi, please
Yeah.
carry on.
Okay, fine. So I'll
Sorry
share
for-
the screen again.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Can you see the screen now?
We can.
Okay, great. So here goes the first question, which I have purposely kept the questions in Japanese, okay? So now you have to get used to the script, how it looks, and that will make you comfortable from day one. Okay, so which one of these is the Japanese flag? Flag of Japan. Please give the answers in chat box.
Sensei, you're already flooded with the answers on the chat.
And the right answers.
The unanimous answer comes out to be D.
D. Okay, that's good. That's good. So first test passed, all 40. Okay, that's good. So can you tell me, by the way, which flag is A? It belongs to which country?
Oh,
South Korea.
South Korea.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. B, everybody knows, being cricket
Bangladesh.
lovers.
Zimbabwe. So,
And what is C?
North Korea, maybe?
No.
Then I have to Google.
Again, a country from Asia, that is Laos.
Laos.
Yeah.
Laos. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this is, oh, what happened? Yeah, this is the answer. Let's go to the next question. Okay, now we'll get 4 options. for this map. Where is Japan located? A, B, C, D.
A.
Yes.
Oh, don't give answers verbally. How many people are saying A, B, C, or D? Nobody for them?
Again,
All of them are saying.
unanimous. Sorry, the answer is A.
Oh,
We got
really?
on chat.
That's good. That's good. Now, for students, it's a homework to find out B, C, and D. Okay. Your homework has started. Okay.
It's C. Guam.
Guam.
Wait,
Yeah, C.
there is
C.
no Guam there.
Yeah, Guam Islands, right? On the
Yeah,
south.
but I want to know the name of nation.
Oh, okay.
No
Maybe
problem.
some. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. So A is the right answer, as you rightly said. Yeah. Now this is something which all students know already. Is Doremon. But the question is, which was the original color of Doremon? Now he looks blue, but what was it before?
My.
Wow. Wow. And I'm thrilled that again the unanimous answer is coming out is so far yellow.
Yellow. That's right.
Is it
That's right. B. It's said to be yellow before. And then a dog came and bit on his ears. So he lost his ears, and out of fear, he turned blue. That's the storyline, I guess. Okay. So that was Doremon. So you already know it. That means you are anime lover. That I got to know. That's a good sign. So yellow is the answer. Now, these are 4 brands of electronic goods. So which one of these is
Panasonic.
from Japan?
Panasonic.
Before
Somebody
you
is
even could-
answering aloud.
Don't answer
Since-
aloud. Don't
since
answer
before you even could
Yeah,
complete your
Rahul,
question,
what is
the answers are bombarded, and the answer unanimously again is B.
okay?
The answer comes out to be B.
Nobody is saying A. That's good. Many people usually.
Not even a single answer. It's
Korea.
all unanimously
Oh,
B.
really? Okay, okay. By the way, do you know that Panasonic is mocked at by Sony? Does anybody know why?
Wow.
You know, many times it happened before, perhaps, I'm not very sure, our mentors from Japan can tell us, that after Sony launched new product, after a few days or months or years, I don't know, but Panasonic used to launch similar products. So they call it Mane Sony. So copying Sony is Panasonic. That's what they say. Anyway, just fun part of it. B is the answer. You're right. Next one. What is this route all about? You can say it's Asia. Some route is shown with the help of blue color, blue arrows actually. Everybody is welcome. What it is, to tell what it is. Yes,
Buddhism?
Buddhism, yeah.
Yeah, Buddhism.
right. That's right. That is Buddhism traveling from India through different routes and paths.
Silk Route is some of the answers we have received.
That's not
No, this is the
From
route
China.
from, yeah,
Silk
this
Route
is
goes across
the
China
way
to Europe.
Buddhism traveled. Actually, it was conveyed through it. It went in different ways. Actually, different sects of Buddhism were conveyed to Japan through different routes. But the most powerful one was through China, Korea, and ultimately it landed in Japan and settled. Okay, so this Sri Vijaya is nowadays called, you know,
Bali.
what it is? No.
Is it Bali?
Yeah, it is Indonesia. Sri
Indonesia,
Vijaya is
yeah.
Indonesia. Okay, this is the map from Buddhist time, not Buddhist times, 8th century, I should say. So older names. Khmer is Cambodia.
Cambodia. Angkor
Yeah.
Wat.
Yeah. So just a minute. So Buddhism reached Japan in 538 or 552. There is some confusion because there are different scholars with different opinions, you know. So either of the two that they say. Okay, yeah, the next one. Just a minute. Oh. Yeah, can you tell me who this is? There are 4 options. She is a Japanese courtier. Indian artist, Japanese artist, Indian goddess.
It looks like some, the like language has a dialect. Maybe it's a Japanese version of Saraswati
Yeah.
or something.
May I know who is answering? I'm not able to see any screen.
Hi, Mansi Sandhi, Watashivam Rinalini Desu,
Oh, wow.
Singapore.
Okay. From Singapore. Okay. I thank you very much. I would like students to answer. Maybe not allowed, but not. You can answer in chat.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, students have the
So,
answer.
many answers we have received. A mix of answers this time. A,
But A and D is majority.
D, A and D.
A and D. Okay. So the answer is D. That is Indian goddess. She is goddess Saraswati, but she has taken Biwa in hand, which is usually Veena in India, right?
Yes.
So what happened was when Buddhism traveled to Japan, it also took our gods and goddesses, deities. They underwent some transformation because they went through China and Korea and reached Japan. So of course, their facing, their eyes and their instruments, musical instruments have undergone some change, but it's very, very interesting to look at their temples in Japan. Benzaiten, as they call it, and you won't believe, but Benzaiten, which is a form of Saraswati herself, has become very powerful when she landed Japan. Usually in India, we have a very different type of image when we say Saraswati. She is very calm, quiet, deals with studies, then arts, fine arts. But here, Benzaiten is very powerful. She gives you strength, power, money, that is riches, as well as Vidya. So that's great, I think. She has become very powerful in Japan. And you have many temples all over Japan. So D is the answer, Indian goddess, with some changes, of course. Yeah, so what is this? This is something interesting. It looks like what? A shopping list, departmental store sections, garbage disposal categories, things to carry for specific purpose. What do you think? Please answer in chat.
5 answers so far, and the answer unanimously 6, 7 is C.
That's right. Actually, it's very interesting. I think, can Rahul, can you tell me, can you tell all the students about how it is, because you have been staying there for so long? How is garbage disposal?
Yeah, in fact, regarding garbage disposal, the good relations with the Japanese, especially not a professional one, but a personal one, is always. I am a firm believer of this. It always depends on how good you are in terms of your garbage disposal. The most experiences that I have had with our neighbors have been good or bad, all depending on how good we were as foreigners in terms of our garbage disposal. The timings are fixed. The days
Days
are
are
fixed.
fixed.
Yeah, the days and times are fixed, and they're so very particular in terms of the what to say, burnable and the non-burnable garbages as well. We call it as gomi, and the gomi is the Japanese word for garbage. And I can take the liberty for all the mentors and the people who are staying in Japan even now, that once you have learned this word gomi, this just doesn't go out of you. When you come back, you go to India, you talk any Marathi language or clear bhasha, you end up saying gomi as gomi in all languages. Thanks a lot.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, so that was it. That was all about garbage disposal. The whole list looks very, very detailed, thorough list, but they do follow the instructions. That's the most important part of it. And such pamphlets are distributed everywhere in every household, and they follow the rules without fail, without any deviation. So that is something worth learning from them. Okay, can you tell me what this is? You have 4 options: kitchen spoon, shoehorn, baseball bat, or baton?
Sure.
Anyone? Students are answering?
Yeah, we have a mixed answer, but it's between B, D, but most of them are saying A.
A.
Most of them, this was a nice and tricky question, and most of them have ended saying A.
A.
Okay, okay,
Sure.
okay. That's nice. That was
Only
what I-
student Noela Pinto has said B.
okay, okay. Yeah. So this is the answer on the right hand side. Can you
As well.
see?
Yeah.
Can you see? It's kept near a shoe. That is a shoe horn, or we call it utsubera. I think I have seen it only in Japan. How is it? I mean, is it there even in other countries? I
Yeah,
don't know.
rest of the world bends
Yes.
completely to use get the shoe inside. So your foot inside. The rest of the world has to bend.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
We
is
have the
very,
ISO shops
very
in Singapore, so we
yeah.
can get it there.
That's
But
nice.
this is something
The
which is
ISO.
not known to the Western world or even to the India, you know. But anyway,
Yes.
in India we will use it to squat mosquitoes also. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So this is a very unique object, I would say, which you find in Japan, and it tells you how they devise things and methods to make things and processes easier. I was so surprised. It's found in every household, I think. Even our mentors must be using these type of shoe horns, I think. Very interesting. They are made up of metal, wood, and whatnot. I think. Rahul, am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Multiple versions. They also come in different sizes at times.
Okay.
Pretty lengthy, even above your waist. And
Okay.
smallest that you can just simply keep it in your pocket as
Like a
well.
mirror. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. That's great. Okay, yeah. So that was what, yeah, just some examples of how unique these Japanese products look like and what their purpose is. You can see this. This is a cooler for noodles, right? So while eating, it's too hot, so becomes difficult to eat. So they have this gadget attached, a fan to cool down the noodles and eat. Then this is some guideline for cutting the bread loaf, and these are erasable pens. You have ink inside, you can write and still erase with this tip. So something very different. They think differently and they develop technology for that. That's interesting for us, right? So yeah, that was what all about when it comes to quiz. But later on, I thought that there are a few things which you may be knowing already, like the friendship both our nations have for some years now, and this is the 70th year of Japan and India friendship. So it has been really, what to say, we both the nations have been trying to develop more and more friendly relations with each other. But as Sunil Sensei said, they have a labor problem today. 1 in 3 companies in Japan are failing to meet recruitment targets. That can tell you how difficult it is to survive from a human resource point of view for a Japanese company. And 8 million is a number predicted to be, as a labor shortfall in Japan by 2040. So Japan's most urgent problem is not too few jobs, but too few workers. So that is because of so many reasons, like less child ratio and high life expectancy. As a result, they have dwindling working age population. So, it has been a very difficult situation for the country. And yes, they are fighting and trying to get over that problem. So as we are a friend, or we are very much in sync with the Japanese psyche, and we want to develop better relations with that country, we certainly have many opportunities laid before us. One is definitely higher studies. Then, of course, you will have many different scholarships for you, and you can apply. Global internship programs are in place. Then you also have better chances for employability, because Japanese language will add to your skills, your resume. Yes, very much. And research programs are also there. Just now, I think our esteemed guest also told us that he has been there to Japan 4 times at least, and even his mentor has been in Japan for 2 years for postdoc. So that's about the Ministry of Education and its scholarships. Otherwise, also you have many private scholarships in Japan, which have various courses for foreigner students. So what usually employers look for in a candidate? I think the mentors from Japan will be able to tell you more and better, but just to give you some idea, mainly right now they are looking for technology experts, of course, with Japanese communication skills. Remember, when we say communication, we talk about writing as well as speaking skills. Very important, because they get many candidates who have passed highest level of Japanese exams, but they can't speak. So that doesn't help you. You have to develop all 4 skills related to language communication, verbal communication. Okay. So secondly, they need specialists and professionals and even skilled workers. It's not necessarily that they want engineers only. They also want technicians, mechanics, electricians with language skills, of course, practically from every field. They also want language experts from any field for that matter, who can work as translators and interpreters. And our Indian companies also want project coordinators who can coordinate between 2 businesses, India and Japan, 2 companies, and help them to communicate better. Okay, so that is my understanding. The mentors will be able to correct me if I'm getting wrong somewhere. But then comes the question, which is very much related to my work and my role in this program. That is Japanese language difficult? What do you think? It may sound a bit odd, but the answer is no. As a language, when we think that a language is difficult or simple, we tend to think about the script. But script is not the language. Remember, script is just a depiction or representation of the words or the language. But the language itself has a big system, an ecosystem, which has many different elements in it. In fact, I would say that you are already at a distinct advantage as an Indian. Be it any part of India, you at least are able to speak at least 3 languages. Your first language or mother tongue. In our case, it is Marathi, Hindi, English, and one more, maybe some other regional language like Kannadi or Gujarati, or if not, still at least I would say 3 languages, right? So you have developed ear to listen to different languages and make and differentiate between them. You don't get confused. If someone asks you a question in Hindi, you tend to answer in Hindi, right? So that will help you a lot while learning any language for that matter, not only Japanese. For other countries, monolingual countries like Japan, it's not so easy. They have been trying to master English for many years, and nowadays, slowly, they are succeeding in that, because they don't need English in work atmosphere or everyday life. So in our case, it's different. So we are always at advantage. Secondly, English, which we have been handling for so many years, is in fact one of the hardest language to learn, believe me. As a linguist, I can tell you that with many proofs in my hand, that English is one of the hardest languages to learn. If you have learned English and if you are studying in English, Japanese is not a difficult language to learn. Why? Because Japanese basic grammar is not difficult at all. If you look at the tense, verbs, and their conjugations, you will realize that it doesn't change. For example, in Marathi, मी पावभाजी खाते, फॉर एक्झाम्पल. आपण काहीतरी इंटरेस्टिंग घेऊया ना. एक्झाम्पल, मी पावभाजी खाते. मी म्हणते कारण मी स्त्री आहे म्हणून. पुरुष असेल तर मी पावभाजी खातो. खातेचं खातो करता आलं पाहिजे. ते खातात, तुम्ही खाता, किती व्हेरिएशन आहे. जॅपनीज मध्ये हे व्हेरिएशनच नाही. सिंग्युलर प्लुरलला सेम आहे. इवन टेन्स मध्ये जर प्रेझेंट टेन्स फ्युचर टेन्स म्हणलं तर सेम आहे. आणि जेंडर प्रमाणे पण बदलत नाही. त्यामुळे बराचसा तुमचा स्ट्रेस वाचणार आहे, राईट. देन सेकंडली प्रोनाउन्सिएशन. Let me tell you, Indian languages, mainly languages like Marathi, Hindi or Sanskrit, we have got so many sounds at our disposal. लहानपणापासून इतकं आपण बोललेलो, वेगवेगळ्या भाषा ऐकलेल्या असतात, आपल्याला इतके साऊंड्स क्रिएट करता येतात, बोलता येतात, की त्या मानाने जॅपनीज मधले साऊंड्स खूप लिमिटेड आहेत, खूपच लिमिटेड आहेत. आपल्याला इट्स अ केक वॉक फॉर अस. But of course with proper guidance, because sometimes you tend to read as the script shows, and the native speakers perhaps pronounce it a bit differently, but our teachers will guide you for that. Secondly, syntax is very close to Indian languages. Verb comes at the last position, whereas as you know in English it comes in second position. All European languages have that. I think most of them have this element in common. The verb comes in second position. मराठी सारखीच जॅपनीज मध्ये वर्ब शेवटी येतं. मराठी सारख्याच विभक्ती आहेत, विभक्ती प्रत्यय आहेत. पण त्याचाच मी फायदा आम्ही घेणार आहोत टीचर्स. आता आपल्याला माहिती आहे की आपला सगळा ऑडियन्स मराठी स्पीकिंग पण आहे ना. कोणी आहे का असं की ज्यांना मराठी अजिबात येत नाही? ते एकदा त्यांनी चॅटमध्ये प्लीज सांगा, कारण शिकवताना
गरजे मराठी आहोत. सो
हो.
पण we will accommodate. We will definitely accommodate.
Yes, definitely. पण त्यांनी फायदा असा होणार आहे की काही गोष्टी सांगताना खूप थिओरिटिकल काहीतरी एक्सप्लेन करण्यापेक्षा पटकन एक मराठीतनं सांगितलं ना तर कळून जाणार आहे. मग त्याच्यामध्ये खूप वेळ घालवण्यात पॉईंट नाही. म्हणून मी जस्ट विचारलं की सगळ्यांना मराठी कळतं ना. इट्स नॉट अन इश्यू इफ यू डोंट नो मराठी, पण तरी असलं तर फारच उत्तम. म्हणजे आपल्याला बोलता येईल. अजून मग आम्ही इंग्लिशमध्ये एक्सप्लेन करू, ते आपण त्या वेळेला बघू. अर्थात मी मराठी येतंय ना म्हणते अशासाठी की तुम्हाला मराठी ऐकून तर समजेल ना, अर्थ कळेल ना. मी त्याच्यामध्ये असं म्हणत नाहीये की मराठी व्याकरणाचे आम्ही शब्द वापरू किंवा ती टर्मिनॉलॉजी आहे ती आम्ही वापरू असं मी म्हणत नाही, कारण ती अवघड असते ऍक्च्युली मराठी माणसांना सुद्धा. मी धातुसाधित क्रियाविशेषण असं म्हणलं की पटकन तुमच्या डोक्यात येईलच अशी खात्री नाही, बरोबर. तर असं नाहीये की आम्ही सगळं भयंकर काहीतरी अवघड तिवघड शिकवू तुम्हाला, पण जिथे मराठीचा उपयोग करता येईल तिथे आम्ही करणार आहोत. ओके. आता हे झालं भाषेबद्दल. तर याच्याबद्दलच अजून थोडंसं असं की जॅपनीज लँग्वेज ही पहिल्यांदा नुसती बोली भाषा होती. इट वॉज अ स्पोकन लँग्वेज ऑल टुगेदर, लोकल जॅपनीज जी होती. बट देन दे बॉरोड स्क्रिप्ट फ्रॉम चायना अँड सम पार्ट ऑफ लँग्वेज वॉज ऑल्सो बॉरोड फ्रॉम कोरिया. Since 6th century, these Chinese characters have been in use. आणि त्याचीच भीती वाटते मॅक्झिमम लोकांना. बापरे, ते किती पिक्टोरियल स्क्रिप्ट अवघड असतं. असं नाही, त्याची सवय होते. काही लक्षात ठेवायच्या ट्रिक्स असतात. नेमॉनिक्स म्हणतात, म्हणजे हाऊ टू मेमराइज और हाऊ टू रिमेंबर दोज कांजी कॅरेक्टर्स. विल बी टेलिंग यू अबाउट इट. आणि पण ते इंटरेस्टिंग असतं, म्हणजे ट्रीट इट ॲज अ पिक्चर. मग ते तुम्हाला असं चॅलेंजिंग वाटायला लागतं. अरे हे भारी, आपल्याला आता 500 कांजी येतात, 800 कांजी येतात वगैरे असं तुम्ही बोलायला लागाल लवकरच. So there are tens of thousands of English words actually which are used today in Japan. Like computer and all are very common, but even new terms as they come in katakana. Okay, foreign terms, they come in katakana. So you'll find them very familiar because you know English, right? So that's an advantage. And lastly, it will be a mix of 3 scripts: hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Our teachers will tell you more about that later on. So I think I'll just skip this because we have talked about the cultural and historical ties between the two countries. But I would just like to mention here about Bodhisena. He is the first recorded Indian to have traveled to Japan via China. Actually, he thought that some bodhisattva named Manjushri, I don't know whether you know these stories, but Manjushri is one of bodhisattvas, an enlightened one, and he heard that he will find Manjushri in China. So he went to China, but then he heard that he will find Manjushri and he will find his enlightened. He'll be enlightened in Japan because he stays there, and he traveled to Japan. And when he traveled to Japan, he had some shipmates along with him, and that wrote the history of Japan, I think, because he influenced a lot many people. He brought Kegon Buddhism to Japan, and he also shaped Japanese language itself because he was teaching Sanskrit to Buddhist monks, to common people in Japan. And in fact, he gave shape to Japanese syllabary. I hope you know what syllabary is. Like we have Barakhadi in Marathi, ka, ka, ki, kuku. We have 12 sounds, but Japanese has only 5. But that arrangement, a, ka, sa, ta, na, ha, is based on our Sanskrit and Indian languages. So Bodhisena shaped up Japanese syllabary, and that is remembered by many linguists and scholars in Japan. So we have our influence on Japan to a great extent. Then even in Second World War Tribunal, it was only one Indian person, Radha Vinod Paul, who stood by Japan. If you want to know more, do Google and find out how he defended Japan, or how, more than defended, I would say, how he worked impartially. And it's a great story to listen. Apart from job options, I think it's very important to know another Oriental society, someone from East, because we Indians have been looking to the West. No complaints, of course. West has its own good points, but we have been looking at the West all along. But there are so many things at the East too, and Japan is something. Japan is a country which has done some wonders in the world. So let's look at some different part of part of the world with different cultures, society. They are very rich culturally, and that will obviously foster the bilateral relations in one way or the other. But it will also give you a perspective to look at your own culture and own society. That something happens very subtly. You won't be conscious about it every time, but it will happen, believe me. And it will also give you a perspective on how languages work, how they operate, how to learn new languages. You will get the knack of it, you will get the technique of it. So that's a very interesting part of it. Then lastly, I would like to say not only Japanese, but any foreign language for that matter. It is confirmed that the growth and structural changes in brain happen when you learn a new language, a foreign language. So even especially in case of Japanese, a pictorial script, kanji is a pictograph, by the way. It's not an alphabet, it's a pictograph, acts as a trigger and improves your visual memory as well. So that was all about what the language is. And this is just a simple flowchart of our program. We'll be taking you from level 0 to level 3 N3 in you'll be taking a lot of time of yours. But you have promised to dedicate that much of time to the course and your self-study. I'll be sending this to you, all the students. I'll be sending this. Don't worry, you don't need to take notes right now. But this is just it's just a what to say, the course at a glance, you can say. Okay, so apart from this, there are a few rules and regulations, I would say, but I won't waste time more on that. But only thing is that you have to be very regular in your attendance. And these are the timings, days given at the bottom of the slide. And we assume that the number of hours you spend in classroom, at least 90, for every 2 hours, you spend 90 minutes of self-study apart from classroom teaching, okay? Then we think that at least 80% of attendance is compulsory. I'm sorry for being so strict, but we can't help it because it's like building blocks, you know. If you lose some base blocks, then your whole building will collapse. So we can't afford that. Let's be very punctual and regular in attendance, and assignments, homeworks as well. Just one notice from teachers. Bring a square notebook and one regular notebook and pencil for next session, which is going to be on Monday, 21st of February. Okay, evening 6:30 p.m. You'll be given all the instructions related to textbook and other ways of studying and everything. So that's it from my side. If you have any questions, please feel free. You can post your questions in chat box. Thank you.
Great.